Creep down low. We're better than that. All right. It's flashing. It's recording.
Who knows what's going to come out of my mouth?
That's why I have it going.
Snowing in northern Indiana.
Don't be dumb. so for 2021, for our family.
Well, this is really hard to say and admit as a parent.
No, it's not easy.
I'm a mom, you're a dad.
When you have kids, you're never alone. Don't waste your parenting experience by feeling guilty and bad about yourself sometimes. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Parenting is hard. That's it.
All right. Welcome back.
Yes.
The Living Room Sessions. We've been having some discussions.
Yes, because we had living room sessions this week, right?
Yeah. Well, it went out the previous week. Yeah.
But we're getting ready to go into a busy for us
Kind of busy season. Yeah.
of traveling a little bit.
Yeah. And
So we've negotiated.
yes, we've talked about expectations.
Because y'all know that he wants to do it weekly.
Yes, I would.
Because
prefer-
if you don't know what we're talking about, you need to go back and watch last week's discussion.
Correct.
So you would prefer to do this weekly, and that's great. And I think we can get there eventually.
I don't know about preference. I would want to do it weekly.
Okay.
Not preferred, but I would want to.
Okay. But we were trying to figure out how we do that in the next couple weeks because I'm traveling for work, then we're traveling to Virginia.
Yep.
And then Carter's going to be here with friends.
Yep.
And then we're going to a conference. And then it's picking kids up for Thanksgiving.
Yep.
So there's just a lot of travel in the next few weeks, which is super fun. Because, we talked also about being bored. I talked about being bored.
Yep.
So I'm like, oh, yay, there's stuff to do. That's fun. But we were trying to figure out how we can make sure to do this weekly. And that's going to be a challenge. So I think we talked about every other week.
I think every other week's probably fair. That's when we're looking at like what can we expect to accomplish, and not what we hope to accomplish. I think what we can expect to accomplish is probably once a week.
I see what you did with that.
I don't even begin to understand what you're saying right now.
Well, we thought we would talk further about expectations today.
Yeah, because last week it was all about conflict, and so if you haven't watched that, you should go back and watch that. We kind of walked through one of the conflicts that we were having, like most recently, and it's just kind of silly, but it
Right.
worked.
But a lot of times the reason there's conflict is because we have expectations of each other
That's correct.
that are a lot of times unsaid. And then when they're unmet, we're frustrated and our response isn't. And
Correct.
the other person's like, why are you responding this way? I had no idea this was an expectation.
And that's true in conflict, not just in marriage, by the way.
Oh,
It's
right.
true in like all sorts of conflict.
Friendships,
Conflict,
coworkers.
yeah, coworkers, like siblings.
I mean, yeah, kids.
It's usually I have found usually that a lot of times the conflict takes place. Maybe not a lot. Maybe that's an over exaggeration, but a lot it is when the expectations aren't set.
Right.
Like you've got unset expectations that somebody's not meeting, and so
Right.
that does cause some frustration.
So today we're going to talk about expectations we have of each other, maybe related to caring for our home.
Yeah, just like the
Chores.
different
basically.
chores and typically roles that we see like when we talk to different married couples
Yeah.
and that kind of a thing. Years ago, somebody said in our friend group, well, marriage is 50-50, talking about the different like roles and chores and
Right.
things like that. And I thought for like 2 seconds, because I'm dumb in a lot of areas, but I'm not necessarily dumb in this one. And it's like, well, no, marriage, I get what they're trying to do. Marriage is not 50-50 though.
Right.
It's 100-100.
Right.
And so when you talk about like expectations or different roles, like what are you thinking?
Well, I paused for a minute because you said we should express our expectations or we should communicate our
Yeah.
expectations is the word you used. And I was like, that's true, but we need to do that more in not, these are my expectations that you're doing these things, right? Like it's more a discussion of talking through like what are our expectations or what are our thoughts about it all.
Yeah.
Because stating our expectations real strongly could cause conflict because it could feel like we're bossing each other and neither one of us like to be bossed.
That is 100% accurate.
Poor Morgan, she's always saying
She doesn't like to be bossed either, though.
no, but she's like, I grew up with 3 firstborns.
This is true.
And she's the only one not. And
She's fine.
she's had
found
plenty
her
of people
voice.
bossing her.
Yes. Yes.
But anyway, so back to your original question about expectations. Like when we first got married, like we probably had different expectations, not about cleanliness or things like that.
No, we're both pretty clean in our own way.
And we went into it knowing we were both gonna share the load.
Correct.
But sometimes my expectations would be things would be done at a certain time period, and your expectations were that when we were first married, like you're like, I want to relax first, and I'm gonna do it.
It will get done.
Right. But then I would see that trash and feel like I couldn't sit on the couch and relax because
Yeah.
the trash needs to take out. So I would take it out, and then that would cause frustration because
Right,
it's like you're like, I'm gonna do it, right?
Hey, just give me 5 minutes.
So there were little things like that. We typically have, just because like I'm more along the lines of thinking that people should do the things that they're good at, regardless of like, so nobody's necessarily good at the toilet, cleaning the toilet.
Right.
But some people don't mind cleaning the toilet, right?
Right.
So what are the things, first we start off going, what are the things we're good at that we like to do? And then what are the things that just need to be done?
Right.
But when it shapes out, we kind of have traditional gender roles.
Well, yeah.
And I don't know if that's just because how we grew up and how we saw it. Like I don't know that I've ever mowed the grass in our 26 years of being married.
You might have. You shoveled snow when I was gone.
Yeah.
You did that.
I'm not opposed to mowing the grass.
Right.
Like, but I haven't done that.
Right.
You know, we both do laundry though, but that's not like,
Yeah.
so there are things like,
Well, I think when we're talking about like chores within
Yeah.
married couples or relationships or whatever it looks like, a lot of what we kind of fall into or walk into it is based on how we grew up. And so if we grew up where mom did the dishes, cooked, dad mowed, or did the yard work outside or whatever that looks like I feel like we bring all the talk about expectations.
yeah,
That's kind of what feeds and fuels our expectations as we go in. And so, yeah, I think for us, and maybe it's the time frame that we grew up in, we typically do have like the standard gender, sex kind of like roles that we fall into.
right. But like you got a Blackstone for Father's Day
Yeah.
a year and a half ago. And since then, Todd makes dinner
A lot.
several times a week.
Yeah, a lot. I think
He
we
definitely
now-
covered several. 2 to 3 times.
we now share the cooking
Right.
responsibilities.
Which is good because I don't love it. I don't
Yeah.
hate it, but it's not like, and it's not, oh, that's fun to me.
Well,
I like to bake,
and
but
also-
I don't like to cook.
Yeah, it also
Yeah.
takes the mess outside, and so there's
That's
not like
true,
a lot of like mess inside to worry about cleaning up. Blackstone is just like, and then it's clean. So
So people might not care like what our roles are and what our tasks are, but what advice would you have to maybe a young married couple or couples who've been married for 20 years and they're feeling frustration or unmet expectations towards each other? Like how should they navigate those kind of things?
yeah, I think for me it goes back to the marriage isn't 50-50. It's not, oh, you got the trash and I got the weed whacking, or you do the cooking and then I'll do the cleaning, which by the way, I don't know, like, does that usually happen typically on a long-term basis? Probably not. The person who does the cooking usually does the cleaning most of the time. Anyways, my point is like, it's not a you do this and I'll do that. And if you're not doing that, then I'm going to be really pissy.
Well, so if I was just sitting on the couch and you're walking around doing laundry, you mowing the grass, how would that make you feel?
No, there'd be some frustrations for sure.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's about having a discussion. And one of the things that I'm not great at is like having a discussion before I get frustrated too much. That's probably an overstatement or whatever. But I think one of the keys is to, recognize that that's frustrating you and to actually sit down and have a conversation. And also like, just think the best of the person.
Right.
Like remember why you guys started the relationship in the first place.
Right.
And have the discussion of like, hey, this is this is what I'm feeling right now because I'm doing this, this, and this, and also don't keep a list, please.
Oh yeah. So time out.
Yeah,
When we were first married, I made a list,
a list of
like things in my mind. It was things we need to do for the weekend.
sure. I
But-
don't like honeydew lists.
But you felt like it because probably there was things on there that I couldn't do. So I'm making a list of things we need to do.
Yeah,
And you're like, that doesn't work for me.
yeah.
Like
Again,
that, like for you was like not a good way to communicate.
Yeah.
Now though, sometimes I'll ask you to do something and I'll say, do you need a reminder? Is my question. And
Sure.
you'll be like, nope, I'm good. Or yeah, do you mind texting me that or whatever?
right.
Like,
Because a lot of times, like, I will need a reminder because I get busy doing
yeah.
something else, or we're talking about what needs to get done. Like the grossest thing ever is cleaning out the septic system. Like we've got this septic system where we have to pull it up and there's a filter and I spray it off and it's really disgusting. I don't like to do it. And so, but that thought of, oh yeah, we need to do that usually comes when we're in the middle of doing something else. And so in that circumstance, it's like, yes, when it's 64 degrees outside and not rainy, yes, I might need a reminder to be like, hey, this is the perfect time to go out there and put on rubber gloves and just, it's disgusting. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But like for you, if there's things that need to be done around the house, how and again, this isn't how everybody's relationship is, but we can only speak for ourselves. Like, what's the best way for me to communicate that to you so that it doesn't frustrate you? And I don't feel frustrated because maybe you like aren't seeing the same thing that I see, that kind of thing.
Well, I think just having an overall discussion of, hey, like the day before the weekend's coming, or it's like, hey, there's a lot of stuff that we got to get done in the house, whether it's a deep clean that we need to do before a trip, or it's some smaller things. The yard needs to be like mowed or whatever it is. I think just having just a basic discussion of, hey, these are the things that I'm hoping that I get to accomplish this weekend.
Yeah.
Probably some of the things we just need to do because the kitchen's gross.
Right.
And then knowing ahead of time, like, yeah, these are the goals that we want to accomplish.
Yeah.
And then go from there. So I think as we have grown up with each other and grown together over the years, we kind of like get into a rhythm and a flow of like knowing what the expectations are of like what, like, yeah, the floor is nasty. The shark vacuum hasn't run for 2 days for whatever reason, and Lola's hair is like gross. And so I think just having
Not currently. You just mean that's an example.
an example, yes, that has
Wait,
happened in the past. Yeah, not now. So I think that's kind of like something that would be helpful.
yeah.
Not making a list and saying, hey, can you do these things? And because again, I have a mom. I don't need to be mothered again. And leave
That
it-
was something that when we were young and immature, if you felt like I was bossing you, you would say, like,
you're not my mom.
you're not my mom.
Yeah. I got one. I love her. and I don't need to be bossed around anymore.
And that I in my mind sometimes didn't feel like I was being bossy, even though that's how you felt
Yeah.
when I would say it. So
Yeah.
it was more just like, oh, we gotta get all these things done because I can't relax until the things are done.
Yeah. And I have no problem relaxing, knowing that we're going to do the things.
Yeah, it's like hanging over me the whole time.
Yeah, but I mean, there are certain things that hang over me for sure. Like I know I got to mow the yard after this, and that's kind of hanging. But I don't like to look forward to that and having that hang over me. But I also know that like it's gonna get done, and so why stress about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. So basically expectations, like we come into a marriage growing up differently. Maybe I think our moms had similar cleaning and all of that. Like we came from similar homes.
Yeah, for sure.
So we already had at least maybe a starting ground of the same thing. But
Yeah.
we also grew up where our dads were super helpful, but in different ways.
Yeah.
Like my dad will help my mom do whatever, but my mom just preferred my dad not to do certain things. And I don't know about your dad. Like,
Yeah.
did your dad vacuum or clean the bathrooms and things like
Yeah, I
that?
never saw him do that.
Right. So like,
He coached us in
I-
baseball. Was a great dad.
and I'm not
Hung out
trying
with
to
us.
say him,
Yeah. I think he mowed the yard too, but yeah, the indoor stuff, I don't remember that at all.
So we grew up with our parents who had very stereotypical gender roles. And
Sure.
so then you enter into a marriage and it's like, okay, let's talk about this. Like, what are the things that you don't mind doing? Because I don't know that anybody thinks it's super fun doing all the things. There's probably some people, but
Maybe.
like I like the house to be really clean and organized.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily enjoy the process of cleaning and organizing.
Yeah, I enjoy the process of cleaning and organizing when it's like, all right, we got to get this done.
Mhm.
Like it just needs to be done.
But you can sit in dirt. Maybe that's not
Not
the right word.
dirt, but yeah.
But you can. I don't know. Like you
Clutter.
clutter maybe.
Ish.
You can sit in it longer than I can.
Well, yeah, because
But then when you're done, it's like
then I'm done.
everybody in the house has to do it right
I'm
now.
done. Let's go. Because if I see it,
cleaning today, guys.
because if I see it, I know everybody sees it. I know everybody sees it, and it needs to happen.
Yeah. So anyway, I think we've learned to navigate some of this, and I think you are just super helpful. Like, so I don't know if it's because you feel bad. Like if I'm vacuuming, you like won't relax now. You're like, what can I do to help? And I'm like,
right, because it's like if you're gonna be vacuuming, surely there's something else that I could be doing.
right.
Like,
But I don't feel that way when you go out and mow the grass.
no, and
You know
that's
what I mean? Like,
yes, but I know that like that's just your time to like sit and relax or do something else. Like
Yeah.
it's not. I don't go outside and think to myself, oh, she needs to be vacuuming if I'm doing this. She needs to be like washing the dishes by hand, even though we have a dishwasher. Since I'm doing this.
Well, I
don't
think
do
though,
that.
and I know you don't really love this test, the
Okay.
whole 5 love languages thing. Like that's not one of your favorite. But like for me, early on, I'm like the way I show love is acts of service.
Yeah.
So like if I want to show or do something, and that's how I show love. That's not necessarily how you show love, and it's not how you receive it. So like early on in our marriage, I'd be busy cleaning, and you're like, I just want you to sit here with me, not be walking
Right.
around the house cleaning the whole time.
Right.
But I felt like I was loving you by doing, I don't know, folding the laundry or something.
Yeah, and
like
that's
that.
that's part of it is really trying to get a good understanding of the other person.
Yeah.
And that's part of the like, how do we communicate? Well, we don't communicate just how we want to or how we would like to be communicated to. It's more of a learning how somebody else functions, operates, and get an understanding of who they are and receive things. And so I think that's part of how to like communicate expectations as well. Not just all about me and what I
Right.
want and
Right.
how I want to talk. It's
Right.
not like that.
Right. So, but when you say, hey, how can I help? That does communicate love to me, but it may not in reverse. And
Yeah,
so,
it doesn't to me, but knowing that it does to you, I try to do that a little bit more because
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I get it. I understand that. I mean,
Yeah.
I could care less if somebody says to a certain extent, like, hey, how can I help you? That doesn't that shows that you're a kind person, but it doesn't make it doesn't make me warm and fuzzy on the inside. It's just like, okay, I love that. That's kind. You're being a servant, and that's great, and I appreciate that. But it's like it doesn't really do anything for me.
So advice to young people, like before you're married, when you're first married, is having these check-in conversations about expectations before you're feeling frustrated. Because if you wait till feel frustrated, more than likely it turns into conflict.
Yeah, for sure. And then also like, I don't know if like again, are we stereotyping when I say this? Like guys,
Uh-oh.
like for the guys, like if your wife is cleaning something, the toilets, or vacuuming, or doing something, maybe like getting over yourself a little bit and stop watching football or whatever the sports game is, or and actually like say, hey, is there anything I can do to be helpful? It's not her job. It's not her job to like clean. It's like, not how can I help you with the expectation of like, this is your job. And that might work for some people, but like just being more present in like your spouse's activity of like, okay, she's doing this. Maybe I can be helpful in this moment.
Yeah.
How can I be helpful?
Yeah, and I think sometimes there's an expectation for, and I'm not speaking for all guys, but like I have friends that are in relationships where they are stay-at-home moms or they're part-time. So I think there's expectation then that their wife will do all those things because they're at work all day.
Yeah.
And we could have a whole podcast about this, working moms and all that. So I'm not gonna do that. But like they're playing with kids, they're doing other things. The house is probably getting more a mess if they're home. kids during the day. And so like if that works for a couple, that's awesome.
That's great.
But the conversation needs to be had, because there's probably a chance that we get too comfortable and it's imbalanced. I know it's never 50-50, but there may be times where for women, you may start to grow resentment and not be willing to say that you're frustrated that your husband's watching football and not helping get the chores in the home done so that you all can relax versus just one person relax.
Right.
So anyway, I think every marriage should look different. Every home should look different. It's what the two people who are married decide.
Yeah, it's not for us to decide for other people. It's just like for a conversation of expectations, like that's relevant.
But I tend to hear women holding resentment for people not their husband, their spouse not helping them.
Yeah, and that's a conversation. And if the conversation doesn't go further, then additional counseling needs to happen.
Right. And if they don't say anything, their spouse may have zero idea that they're feeling resentment or frustration.
Right. And then it's on that person to like, if you're not communicating those feelings, thoughts, like frustrations, then that's more on you than on the other person. Because again, like how can that person know what you're thinking when you're not communicating that thought? So
that's good. Yeah. And then I have other friends who their husbands do all the cleaning, cooking, and all that, and they go out and mow, and that's cool. Like, so it really is whatever works for your family.
Yeah, if you've got it set up a way that works for you, then that's all we can.
Or you could just pay someone to do all the chores.
That is an option for some people, or some. I don't know.
Not for us,
but for some.
We could probably pay for other things. Like we pay for they did a bad job this year. We paid for the
lawn treatments.
We don't do that.
No, I was thinking about doing that, but I don't know if I want to even take it.
Yeah, I like that they just come and we don't have to worry about it. Yeah. But I'm not even the one doing it, so.
Yeah, it doesn't look good right now, though. So.
So.
Anyways.
Just saying. Yeah. Any other advice you have for couples related to expectations around the home?
No, marriage is 100-100, not 50-50. Communicate.
Did you say that outside?
Did I really? Probably did. 50-50. 50-50. Not 50-50. It's 100. Hundo. Communicate. And as the individual taking responsibility and ownership of yourself, really try to understand the other person before you unleash all of your selfish attributes on them.
So we didn't talk about this ahead of time, so you may have to edit that.
We'll see.
What pet peeves do you have of me around the house of things I do that you're like, I can probably think of one, but I don't want to give it to you. Just do this. Why did you not do this related to the house or chores or
just do this? Why don't you just do that? I don't.
Like sometimes I leave the cabinet door open. You're like, why is the cabinet door open? Why didn't you shut the cabinet door? I'm like, because I'm in the middle of pulling things out of the cabinet.
Yeah, that's a more than sometimes. That's a cabinets, silverware drawers.
Like one of my pet peeves of you.
Yeah.
And you're not doing this right now because you're being healthy.
What is it?
Is your nightstand.
Oh, yeah. I tend to bring up dishes and glasses and bottles.
At any given point, there in the past, there could be bowls.
Yeah, whatever. I did that as a kid too. I had a magic.
I'm kind of surprised your mom let you.
I had a magic nightstand as a kid too. Magic nightstand.
This is what he calls it.
I bring all the stuff upstairs and I put it down there and I forget about it. And a couple days later, it's magically gone. I don't understand how that just happens.
Well, what's funny is for a while when it was like Saturdays and we were cleaning, I would say to Morgan, hey, go get the stuff off of Dad's nightstand and put it away. And she's like, I'm not his magic nightstand. And then I would have but she does the same thing.
She does, for sure.
Her nightstand is.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so curious when she comes home from college after this first semester, if anything changes or if she just goes right back into.
It'll take a little in the summertime, maybe Christmas because it's 6 weeks. In the summertime, it'll take a while, and then it'll transition back to what it was.
So yeah, so you leave things on your nightstand. Sometimes your contact lens is your water.
Because I go to sleep watching TV with contacts in, and I fall asleep with them in, and I wake up, I'm like, oh, this I can't see, and I just take them out.
But it's not that deep. I'm like, oh, whatever, and I clean up because I want it clean, and it's not a big, and you don't care, so it's not a big deal.
That's the deal. It's like with the cabinets or with whatever else, it's like. It's just not that deep.
So are there other things that I do that you're like, why don't you?
I don't think so.
Maybe with laundry. You're like, if the items are touching each other, hanging up to dry, or different things like that.
I think sometimes you throw the stuff on the rack and
I don't,
like,
but okay.
and like it's kind of like, yeah, that's fine. And then it's still bunched up, and it's like, okay, that's gonna smell like dirty dish soap if I don't fix that.
So there's things we do communicate
But I
with
was
each other.
thinking about that.
No, but we communicate them, and they're never
Yeah.
fixed. You just at some point go,
That's what
all
happens.
right, this is the way it is.
It's not, but these are things that aren't so bad that they need to be fixed.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
Like there are some things I'm sure that we don't know with some relationships where it's like, oh yeah, that's gotta be fixed. Like that's disgusting.
Yeah.
But it's not for us.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
that's great.
So hopefully there's something helpful in this for you all.
It's a shorter episode, about halfway shorter, which is great. So
But yeah, just expectations you have for each other and yourself, just communicating with that with your kids, your family, so that you don't grow resentment and it turns into conflict.
yeah, unset expectations, unmet expectations, all result in frustration, and always trying to seek to understand the other person and communicate in a way that is most helpful to everybody, not just yourself. So
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Anything else?
I don't think the expectation that it's longer than this.
No.
No, okay.
This feels great. There's a lot. There's a lot we have yet to do today. So.
Oh, okay.
It's
I was
perfect.
like, wait, what? Is it supposed to be longer?
Nope, it's perfect.
I can make up more things to talk about.
It's great. It's
Okay,
great.
got it.
All right. We'll see you in the next one in a week
All right.
and a half. All right.
I was gonna say, oh, yeah, every other.
Every other. Yeah. Every other.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.